Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Daily English Learn, the podcast where we help you speak English with confidence, not just study it. I'm Eva.
And I'm Mark. Thanks so much for joining us today. We've been teaching English for years now, and there's one question we hear more than any other.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Students always ask us, why do I forget everything I study? I learn new words today, and tomorrow they're gone. I understand grammar in class, but when I speak, my mind goes blank.
Yes, exactly. And it's not just beginners. Even intermediate learners feel this. They work hard, they take notes, they watch videos, but when it's time to actually speak English in real life, nothing comes out naturally.
That's such a frustrating feeling. And honestly, for a long time, even we didn't have a clear answer. We thought maybe students weren't practicing enough, or maybe they needed more lessons.
But then we discovered something important. The problem isn't how much you study. The problem is that most learners don't understand how their brain actually learns a language.
Exactly. So today we're going to explain something very simple but very powerful. We're going to show you why your brain forgets English so quickly, and more importantly, how you can train your brain to remember English forever.
By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what to do after learning something new so that it stays in your memory. You'll understand why repeating is important, and you'll learn a very easy method to make any English word or sentence permanent in your mind.
So stay with us. This might be the most useful English lesson you hear all year.
All right, Mark, let's start with the story. Imagine this. You're sitting in an English class or you're watching a YouTube video, and the teacher says a new word. Let's say the word is exhausted.
Okay, exhausted. That means very, very tired. More than just tired. Completely tired.
Right. So you hear it, you understand it, maybe you even write it down in your notebook. You think, great, I learned a new word today.
But then what happens?
The next day, you want to tell your friend, I'm so tired after work. And you know there's a better word, a stronger word, but you can't remember it. The word exhausted is gone.
Completely gone, even though you learned it just yesterday.
And this makes you feel terrible. You start thinking, maybe I'm bad at English. Maybe my memory is weak. Maybe I'll never speak fluently.
But here's the truth. Your memory is not weak. Your brain is actually working perfectly. The problem is you're treating your brain like a storage box.
Yes, exactly. Most people think learning is like putting things in a box. You hear a word, you put it in the box, and it stays there forever.
But your brain doesn't work like that at all.
No, your brain is more like a garden.
A garden?
Yes, when you learn something new, it's like planting a tiny seed. That seed is weak, it's fragile. If you don't water it, if you don't take care of it, it dies very quickly.
So when you learn the word exhausted one time, you're just planting the seed. But if you never use it again, never see it again, never say it again, that seed dies.
Exactly. And this is why so many students forget what they learn. They plant seeds, but they never water them.
That's a brilliant way to explain it, Eva. So the question is, how do we water those seeds? How do we make sure the words we learn actually grow and stay in our memory?
That's exactly what we're going to explain right now.
Okay, so let's talk about how your brain actually remembers things. This is important because once you understand this, everything becomes easier.
Right. So your brain has two types of memory. The first one is called short-term memory.
Short-term memory is like a small desk. You can put a few things on it, but there's not much space. And if you don't use those things, they fall off the desk and disappear.
Yes. So when you hear a new English word, it goes on that desk. It stays there for a few seconds, maybe a few minutes, maybe even a few hours. But if you don't do something with it, it falls off.
And once it falls off, it's gone. You can't get it back. This is why you forget words so quickly.
Now, the second type of memory is called long-term memory. This is like a big library. Once something is in the library, it stays there forever. You can come back to it anytime you want.
So the goal is simple. We need to move English words and sentences from the small desk to the big library, from short-term memory to long-term memory.
Exactly. And the way you do that is through something called repetition.
Repetition. That means doing something again and again.
Yes, but here's the thing. Most people think repetition means saying a word 10 times in one day and then never saying it again.
Right. They think, okay, I'll repeat this word exhausted, 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 exhausted. Done. I learned it.
But that's not real repetition. Real repetition means coming back to the word many times over many days.
So today you learn the word exhausted. Tomorrow you see it again. 3 days later, you use it in a sentence. 1 week later, you hear it in a movie. 2 weeks later, you practice it with a friend.
Yes, each time you come back to it, your brain says, oh, this word is important. I need to remember this, and it moves it deeper and deeper into your long-term memory.
And eventually, it becomes automatic. You don't have to think about it anymore. The word just comes out naturally when you speak.
Exactly. That's the goal, to make English automatic, not something you have to search for in your mind.
So repetition is the key, but not all repetition is the same. Let me give you a better way to repeat.
Okay, Mark, so we know repetition is important, but like you said, not all repetition works the same way. So what's the right way to repeat?
Great question. Let me explain with an example. Let's take the word exhausted again. After today's lesson, you'll know this word very well.
I hope so, because we've said it about 10 times already.
Exactly. But here's what most students do wrong. They learn the word today, and then they wait 1 month before they see it again. By that time, it's already forgotten.
Right. The seed dried up and died.
Yes. So instead, you need to repeat it soon. The best way is to use something called spaced repetition.
Spaced repetition. That sounds complicated, but it's actually very simple.
It just means you repeat the word at specific times, not random times, specific times.
So here's how it works. Today you learn the word exhausted. Tomorrow you review it once, just once. You can say it out loud or write one sentence using it. That's enough.
Then, 3 days later, you review it again. Again, just one sentence. Maybe you say, I felt exhausted after the long meeting.
Then 1 week later, you review it again. Maybe you hear it in a podcast or you use it in a conversation.
And then 2 weeks later, you review it one more time. By this point, the word is deep in your long-term memory. It's not going anywhere.
And the beautiful thing is, each review takes less than 1 minute. You're not spending hours, you're just reminding your brain, hey, remember this word.
Yes, and your brain says, okay, this must be important. I'll keep it.
Now, let's practice this with a few more examples, because we want you to really understand this method.
Okay, let's take another common word. How about grateful? Grateful means you feel thankful, you appreciate something.
Right. So imagine you learned this word today. You understand it, you know it means thankful. Now, tomorrow, you need to review it. You can say one simple sentence.
For example, I'm grateful for my family.
Perfect. Simple sentence, just one sentence. Then 3 days later, you review it again. Maybe you write it in your journal. I feel grateful for this beautiful weather.
Yes, and 1 week later, maybe you're chatting with a friend and you say, I'm really grateful you helped me yesterday.
And 2 weeks later, you hear someone else use the word and you think, oh, I know that word. I use it all the time.
Exactly. And now the word is yours forever. You don't have to search for it. It's automatic.
This is the power of spaced repetition. You're not just learning words, you're training your brain to keep them.
And you can use this method for anything. New vocabulary, grammar structures, phrases, idioms, anything.
The key is, don't learn something once and forget about it. Plan to review it. Make it a habit.
All right, Eva. So we've explained the science, we've explained the method. Now let's make it practical. How can listeners actually do this every day?
Good question, because we know everyone is busy. You have work, you have family, you have responsibilities. So how do you find time to review English every day?
The answer is you don't need much time. Even 5 minutes a day is enough if you do it correctly.
Yes, 5 minutes of smart practice is better than 1 hour of random practice.
So here's what we recommend. Every evening, before you go to bed, take 5 minutes to review what you learned that day.
Maybe you learned 3 new words today. Just write 1 sentence for each word. That's it. 3 sentences, 5 minutes.
And if you want to be even more effective, use a notebook, a special English notebook just for reviewing.
Yes, this is so helpful. In this notebook, you write the date, and then you write your sentences. Tomorrow, you can look back and see what you learned yesterday. 3 days later, you review again.
And the beautiful thing is, after 1 month, you can look back at your notebook and see how much progress you made. You'll see dozens of words that are now permanent in your memory.
That's such a great feeling because usually students don't see their progress. They only see what they don't know yet.
Exactly. But with this method, you can actually measure your growth. You can see the proof.
Now, let's talk about another important thing. Many students ask us, should I learn from apps? Should I use flashcards? Should I watch movies?
And our answer is yes, all of those things can help. But the most important thing is real usage.
Yes, you need to use English in real situations, not just study it on paper.
So after you learn a new word, try to use it in a real conversation, even if it's just with yourself, even if you're talking to your mirror at home.
That's right. Don't be shy. Practice speaking out loud. Your mouth needs to practice, not just your eyes and ears.
And if you don't have anyone to practice with, record yourself. Use your phone, make a voice note, say 5 sentences using your new words.
Then listen to it. Hear yourself speaking English. This is very powerful because it makes English feel real, not just something in a textbook.
Exactly. The more real it feels, the more your brain says, this is important. I need to remember this.
All right, Mark, we're coming to the end of today's episode. Let's quickly summarize everything we talked about.
Yes, so the main lesson today is this. Your brain doesn't forget English because you're bad at learning. Your brain forgets because you're not giving it enough chances to remember.
Right. Learning something once is not enough. You need to review it, use it, and come back to it many times.
And the best way to do this is through spaced repetition. Learn today, review tomorrow, review again in 3 days, then 1 week, then 2 weeks.
Each review takes less than 1 minute, but it makes a huge difference. It moves words from your short-term memory to your long-term memory.
And once something is in your long-term memory, it stays there forever. You can use it anytime without thinking, without searching.
So here's your homework after today's lesson. Choose 3 words or phrases you want to remember. Write them down right now.
Then tomorrow, review them. Write 1 sentence for each word. 3 days later, do it again. 1 week later, do it again.
And after 2 weeks, those words will be yours forever. You'll use them naturally when you speak.
And if you keep doing this every week with new words, imagine how much English you'll know after 3 months, 6 months, 1 year.
You'll be speaking with confidence, using vocabulary you never forgot, because you trained your brain the right way.
That's right. Learning English is not about talent. It's about method. And now you have the method.
So thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Daily English Learn. We really hope this helps you on your English journey.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who's also learning English. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a lesson.
Take care, keep practicing, and remember, your brain is powerful. You just need to train it correctly.
See you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Keep learning, keep growing.